disrespectful for Crawford to call you out at 68, say that he can beat you at this weight?
No, you know, everybody wants to fight with me, so it's fine.
That being a biggest fight possible in boxing, is that something you'd actually be interested in?
You know, it's crazy when you asking about that because you say, your Machado is coming out of the other weight classes and that's it, and he's welterweight. So don't make sense. He's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So if the money is right, I'm in. Because, you know, I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is no. But if the fight made sense, why not?
A lot of people have him at #1 pound for pound. You think that's fair to you?
You know, it's a few people there who deserve the #1 pound for pound, and it's fine.
Terence Crawford recently called out Canelo Alvarez. In response, the king of boxing sent an angry message that has fans talking in a new video. Alvarez firmly declared, "Send me the contract," signaling his openness to a potential "there is a lot of talk about one of the most exciting fights in recent history because Crawford wants to fight the Mexican giant in this clash of champions." Both fighters are at the top of their careers.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion, something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as #1.
Has the Canelo fight, realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested, or you still pursuing it?
Not at all. I think business talk. With the right business come across the table, it happens. I just be talking, man. Canelo a big dude, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I believe in my abilities. He's a heavy dude, but he's not a big guy. Like, he's 5'8", I'm 5'8", you know what I mean? My arm's longer than his, so that fight would be good.
Canelo Alvarez is from Guadalajara, Mexico, and he is the current undisputed super middleweight king. He has won 4 world titles. Canelo has fought and beaten some of the biggest names in boxing, solidifying his position as one of the best in the sport. He is known for his incredible strength, defensive skills, and ability to change in the ring.
Canelo is beating these guys with all 5 layers of defense. #1, feet. #2, elbows, hands, shoulders, and the mind. This is exactly how both of those guys got to the highest level of boxing supremacy. Canelo Alvarez means to the Mexican fans what Floyd Money Mayweather meant for black people. 50 wins in boxing, no losses, no draws. And follow for more.
I mean, you fought Floyd Mayweather at what? You're 23?
23.
That's so fucking young.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him because, if you beat him, you want to be the best in the world at 23.
What do you think was so impressive about him?
His experience, he's so smart. He have everything in a fighter, a complete fighter. He don't have power in the punches, but when you that kind of fighter, you don't need it.
You think that was the toughest fight you faced?
No.
What do you think?
I think it's tough fights and difficult fights. That was a difficult fight.
Terence Crawford from Omaha, Nebraska, is also a multiple division world champion. He has won titles in the lightweight, light welterweight, and super welterweight weight classes, and he is known for being able to switch hits, having a high ring IQ, and having knockout power. Crawford became the undisputed welterweight king after his victory over Errol Spence Jr.
When he fought Canelo and he was like standing right in front of Canelo and Canelo's just whiffing, it was a life lesson. And then you look at how good Canelo's head movement got after that fight when he realized it. I mean, my God, when he fought Danny Jacobs and Canelo's just standing right in front of him, bobbing and weaving. That's all what he learned from fighting Floyd.
Listen, Canelo needs to understand he's a different fighter now. The deterioration is there. It's not the same guy. He's not that destroyer who's looking for knockouts early and keeps a pace and a pressure on you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're going to knock them out and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? Scores a knockdown every time. The power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going on 45 at this, as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys. So you got to keep that in mind as well.
I'll say he is the hardest, for sure. One of the fighters that hit very hard was Angulo. You know, he's a Cuban guy, and he punched very hard too. So I'll say both of them are like the same, but, you know, with Canelo, I was just mentally ready for his shots. You know, I already told myself, I know I'm going to get hit. I know I'm going to get hit on my chin, but it's, you know, I got to bite down on my mouthpiece and push. You know, and look what happened in the third round. I got hit with a left hook. I dropped. We be practicing in camp the whole time, you know, keeping my right hand to my chin. And I wound up just moving, and he connected right on my chin. And you see how I punched my glove. You know, that's like a thing for me when I, you know, my last time when I got dropped, I was punching my gloves. Cause I'm like, damn, I got hit with a shot. I'm not supposed to be on the floor. But, you know, it comes with boxing. You know, the greats done got dropped, you know, got hurt. But it's about how you come back and respond.
After his most recent win, Crawford openly challenged Canelo, saying he wanted to move up to 168 pounds to fight the Mexican superstar. Canelo replied to the call-out in a video message saying, "Send me the contract if he really wants to fight." This comment shows that Canelo is willing to fight if the terms are acceptable.
All right, we have to talk about this. Terence Crawford just tweeted, Canelo versus Crawford is definitely by far the biggest fight in boxing. This guy is not playing around. All right. Crawford, pound for pound, #1. Canelo, biggest star in boxing still at the moment. Anywhere. I'm not talking about just in the US, Mexico, the UK, everywhere. Canelo is now open. At first, it was, hey, I can't go down to 160. I can't do a catch weight of 160. If he wants to fight me, it's going to be at 168. Plus, I'm not going to get any credit if I beat a Terence Crawford. It would be like Terence Crawford fighting Tank, moving 2 weight classes up, and I'm not going to get credit for that. Terence Crawford is a special fighter. He is like a Floyd and a Manny that can move up to weight classes, carry his power, can beat up bigger guys. He's a special.
The big difference in weight is one of the main topics of conversation about this possible fight. Canelo has been competing at 168 lbs, while Crawford's latest fights have been at 147 and 154 lbs. Canelo has expressed concerns about the size disparity, saying that weight classes exist for a reason and that moving up multiple divisions can be difficult.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happens.
Yeah.
Demetrius Andrade, a former world champion and experienced boxer, has weighed in on the potential clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, giving a nuanced perspective that emphasizes the significance of size and experience in higher weight classes. Andrade's assessment aligns with many expert analyses acknowledging Crawford's exceptional skills while stressing the unique challenges he would face against a fighter of Canelo's caliber.
Vomiting, it was just tough, man. It was just a tough year. Which, at the end of the day, I'm a fighter. I believe who I am, the confidence and my skills and talent. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I do. It was just tough. And did it play in the fight? It played in the whole circle. You know, like the communication level, like between me and my dad, just a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That usually is there, wasn't there because of the situation, which is, to me, fine, because I went through with it. I believe in myself, my talent, and whatever happens, happens. But I'm not going to be shy or run away from something because, like, life is going on. But this is my life also, is boxing.
Yeah. What caused, you know, you mentioned your brother was in a coma on the 4th floor, your mom in a coma in the 5th floor. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I feel like sometimes I'm letting a little bit out. It's more like an intimate settings where I can sit down and have an interview, and I feel like I can like tell somebody face to face Over the phone is kind of like, not the proper way I would like to deliver like my message, but yeah, it's just tough, man. It's just tough. It was just a tough time.
Yeah.
Tough time, man. It was a tough time. And then I lost my mom.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Yeah, no, I could, I could see it still affects you. I know it comes in waves. All of a sudden, it just crashes on you, and you get like, a flood of emotion going through. So, my condolences to you on that, Demetrius. I'm sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, in terms of the performance, a lot of people were wondering, like, hey, like, well, what's going on here? This is not the Demetrius we're used to seeing in the ring. Others have pointed out, like, hey, that's just what happens when a Benavidez fights someone. It overwhelms them. But overall, now looking back at the fight, like, what'd you make of how it played out, in your opinion?
I mean, I went in there and just, like I said, like some of the usual way of training or some of the stuff that I'm used to hearing wasn't there because the corner was silent. It was like me and my dad had have like a relationship during that time. Andre Rosario, who was like sort of new to the situation, and then it just was a whole bunch of silence. It wasn't this normal stuff, like the stuff that will keep me reminded, at the same time.
David Benavidez has shared similar sentiments. While he praised Crawford's technique, he voiced doubts about Crawford's power carrying over to higher weight classes. Benavidez pointed out that Crawford would need to move up 2 more weight divisions to challenge Canelo, a move he sees as a major obstacle.
I mean, I can't really say nothing about that. If that's what he wants to do, then that's what he's going to do. Canelo is a man that he does anything he wants to do. I don't think really what people say affects him. But I feel like the people, they want to see David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez. It's the biggest fight to make happen, and I feel like I'm the biggest threat to him.
Emphasizing the value of respecting weight categories, Benavidez gave Canelo the advantage in a potential matchup, highlighting the difficulties of stepping up to face a seasoned winner at a higher weight. Though Benavidez himself has long been a standout in the 147 lb division and is seen as a possible challenge for Canelo, a fight between them has yet to come to fruition.
Everybody want to fight Canelo Alvarez.
Mayday.
I'm
the face of boxing.
Crawford wanted a payday, but Crawford didn't do good at 54. When I talk to people, they all tell me you would have knocked him out at 68.
Well, he knows now. He experimented the 154, and he knows. Maybe he do in 168 for a big check.
My last thing, Canelo, you just donated $70 million.
Canelo's power and experience at higher weight classes are obvious assets. His ability to withstand punches and deliver devastating counterpunches makes him a formidable foe. Additionally, Canelo's agility and ring movement further enhance his skill set, solidifying his image as a versatile and well-rounded fighter.
Look up the definition of boxing. Please, look up the definition of boxing. The martial arts of boxing, and then come back with your opinion. Because boxing is not all about knocking somebody out. Yes, that's part of it. That can happen, but boxing is a sport where you can outpoint somebody too. That's why they go to the scorecard.
I appreciate that take, bro. That's real educated, man, real thoughtful. But you ain't had a decision win in a long time, bro. You known for like being a great finisher. So I appreciate that. But that ain't how you moving though.
Right.
Follow for more.
Having recently moved up to 154 lb, Crawford won the WBO interim super welterweight title, but looked to lack the same power he showed at 147 lb.
This for all the nut huggers, the bud nut huggers, the bud butt buddies. You see that? You see that? We see that. You understand me? You see what that say? Jamel Charlo what is the WBA junior middleweight champion in recess. Jamel Charlo is the WBC junior middleweight champion in recess. Nah, man. Virgil Ortiz Jr. is the WBC intern junior middleweight champion. Nah, man. So make it make sense. People got to make it make sense. Charlo's still a big dog there. Yeah, that's my camera behind me. Charlo's still a big dog there. So a lot of people need to get their facts straight. Understand? Opinions don't matter. It's all facts. No opinions. Sport podcast. And I'm always going to bring you the real, never the fake. And I'm never late on the news. You hear me? Get at me, man. Dollar.
However, moving up to super middleweight to face Canelo would be a big leap. The challenges involved with this transition include adjusting to the greater power and physicality of opponents in the higher weight division. While Crawford's technique and skill are excellent, questions remain about whether his power and durability will translate effectively to super middleweight.
Be great. That'll be 3 times. If you go 154 and win the belt, that's 3 times super. Then I said, chase super greatness. Come on, Canelo. 160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in like his next 2 fights where he still got age on his side, then maybe go up again. Like if he's trying to chase the greatness. But I mean, he already done something that's never been done.
Despite the challenges, Crawford's versatility and adaptability could be important in the fight. His proficiency in switching stances and using both hands with equal success adds an element of unpredictability, making him tough to counter. Additionally, Crawford's exceptional footwork and high ring IQ allow him to dictate the pace and manage the distance, giving him the tools to navigate the fight strategically.
You had to like Terrence's walk.
Oh, incredible.
It was fire.
Right, yeah, especially being into the fight. No one knew who really was going to win. And you could see the confidence. And I don't think real confidence you can fake.
A fight between Canelo and Crawford would surely be a massive financial event attracting global attention. Both fighters have large fan bases, and their clash would likely generate significant pay-per-view revenue. Promoters and networks would need to discuss terms that satisfy both parties, including purse splits, venue selection, and broadcasting rights.
For Crawford saying he wanted to fight you.
Everybody
wants to fight you.
Yeah.
Now, I saw at the end of the Crawford fight, the how they call him, the Excellency. Yeah, Turkey. His Excellency. The Sheik said that he would be willing to pay whatever you want to fight Crawford.
Fine.
Yeah.
If he's willing to pay whatever I want, hands down.
Yeah, that'll work. So if yeah, you're in. So if the numbers were right with Crawford, you'll do it.
Why not? Why not? I think Crawford, don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So if the money is right, I'm in. Because, I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford the last fight and he don't move that much now. So if the money is right, I'm in. Why not?
Terence Crawford has confidently stated that a fight with him would be a lucrative chance for Canelo. Crawford highlighted his growing popularity and success, especially after becoming the undisputed welterweight champion, as key reasons that would draw massive attention to the bout. He stressed that their potential clash would produce significant revenue through pay-per-view sales, sponsorships, and global attention, making it financially advantageous for Canelo to take the fight.
If I was an easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez, and he want $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy, because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168, your weight, no catch weight, no none of that, and dethrone you. So, he got that in the back of his head. This guy, for one, he's tough.
However, Canelo has previously voiced reservations about fighting Crawford, citing concerns about the weight disparity and the potential lack of credit for defeating a smaller opponent. He has indicated that while he is open to discussions, any potential fight must make sense from both a business and sporting standpoint.
I think Bud could beat Canelo. Like I said, I've been saying this. I don't think size win fights. I think skills do. So yeah, I think like being a southpaw with good movement and sharp boxing, it'd be hard for Canelo with that high guard to walk him down and load up on them big hooks. I think Bud would be Canelo.
Bud Crawford.
Yeah.
Just won his debut at 154. Said if the money's right, we'll fight. Everybody wants that fight. What do you feel about that matchup? People saying the weight, all this stuff. How do you feel about that?
You know, everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And, you know, like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2-3 weights class less than me. But if the money is right, why not? Right? Why not? But look, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga. I know I have a challenge in front. I never overlook any fighter. So I'm focused 100% in this, and then we'll see.
What are your thoughts on this possible mega fight? Do you think Crawford's skills can beat Canelo's power and experience? Share your views in the comments below.